the Rambler Network.
Hello, welcome back to Casablanca. This episode, I'm talking about Across the Universe, which is a 2007 jukebox musical written and directed by Julie Taymor and starring Evan Rachel Wood, Jim Sturgess, and Joe Anderson. It is based on the songs of the Beatles. Okay, so this is actually my second attempt at recording this episode. My first attempt was about 3 months ago. And it was the episode that ended up being High Strung. That was originally supposed to be this one. I actually swapped the episodes. I finished recording, and then Audio Director crashed. And when I opened it back up, normally when you close Audio Director and you have a file unsaved, when you open it again, when you close the program with an unsaved file project, when you open it back up, it says, "Hey, we see an unsaved project. Would you like to load it?" And you say yes or no. And so I finished recording the episode, and the program crashed, and I went to reopen it, and it didn't ask that, and I was just too frustrated, and I just decided to swap the episodes because I didn't feel like re-recording it. Yeah. So anyway, this is my second attempt. Hopefully it doesn't happen again, because if it happens again, I'm taking it as a sign I'm not meant to record Across the Universe. Okay. So the director, Julie Taymor. If that name sounds familiar, then you're probably really big into Broadway musicals, because she's best known for directing The Lion King on Broadway. So this film, Across the Universe, it takes 33 Beatles songs and tells a story about love, war, art, and youth in the 1960s. It's not about the Beatles, but it is about what their music represented, basically. So like the character names are, they're Beatles references. They got Jude, Lucy, Max, Sadie, Jojo, Prudence. Prudence literally climbs in through the bathroom window. So it's that kind of movie. So, anyway, Jude, he's a British dock worker. He travels to America to find his estranged father. And when he does find him, it turns out his father didn't even know he existed. So it's not that he walked out on them or anything, or he was a deadbeat. He just didn't know he existed. Of course, by the time he finds him, he's like basically an adult. And his father's like, "Hey, I already have a family." So, yeah. So I guess in that sense, I don't know. But he meets Max, who's a Princeton student, also his sister, Lucy, who becomes his love interest. So, like, the story's, like, very 60s oriented. Like, the Vietnam War is, like, a major part of it. Lucy, at the beginning of the movie, has a boyfriend, but he doesn't even have a name. He doesn't have a scene. He's, like, they basically have, like, a body double type situation, but, like, you gotta have a main actor for the role. He doesn't feel like he was the boyfriend character. He's, like, in the first 20 minutes of the movie, but you basically see, like, the back of his head type thing. and he goes off to war, and she does the song, "It won't be long," yeah, and until he gets back, and then she finds out that he was killed in action. So, and then Jude comes in, and they start falling in love, or like how they do in musicals. It's not realistic at all, but I mean, it's based on the Beatles, so like all you need is love. So like the visuals in this movie, it's like very acid trippy at times, especially in the "I Am the Walrus" scene. It literally ends with like an acid trip look. It has like a house and it keeps changing colors, and then it's like, oh, okay, now it's the normal colors again. Bono actually sings "I Am the Walrus," which that was an interesting choice. Also an interesting choice. Joe Cocker is known for doing the cover of "With a Little Help from My Friends," which was famously used as the intro for The Wonder Years. He actually makes a cameo and he sings "Come Together." Like, while watching this, I tried making a list of all of the Beatles references, and I actually lost count. And I'm not really good at note taking, so my list doesn't actually make sense. I just put like one word things. And like I said, this was months ago, so I should get better at note taking. And I know this is not my first time talking about this on here, which is why I was trying to do scripts. I was like, okay, but like I know my script writing wasn't that good, and I was not good at reading scripts. I was basically reading them like this. So, I'll admit it. Okay, so recording this episode again, I am a little annoyed. This episode, how long have I been recording? 11 and a half minutes. I'm probably going to cut a lot of this because there's a lot of rambling that didn't make sense. As I'm talking, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. But like, I know a lot of this is I'm frustrated that I'm having to re-record this, even though it's 3 months later. But at this point, I just want to get it over with. So I don't like doing filler episodes, and so I don't want this to be a filler episode. But I feel like this is going to be a filler episode, but it really shouldn't be. Yeah, I wrote the words, "This is not a biopic," but that was like one of the last notes. Like, obviously, that should have been the first note. I have upset some people by saying that. Okay, so I actually really like the soundtrack of this, and I upset some people because I said that I think that Evan Rachel Wood's cover of Blackbird in the song may actually be better than the original. That is the only song in this movie I think might be better than the original. And it's not okay, just because I say I think her cover might be better than the original doesn't mean that I think Paul McCartney is trash. And that's what people seem to think when I say that. When I say I like hers better, they're like, "Oh, so you think Paul McCartney's is garbage?" Like, I never said that. They're both great versions. But yeah. Unfortunately, the movie is not streaming anywhere. I had to rent it on Hoopla. Check it out on Hoopla. It's a library app, so you don't really have to pay anything. I highly recommend watching it. I'm too frustrated to actually give actual opinions. This is why I should script. I kind of want to. I need to find some balance between scripting and not scripting. Outlining. I should go back to outlining. Okay, I'll go back to that. For now, yeah. And cut.
The Rambler Network.